Hello students, today we're going to talk about the preterite form of regular verbs, and this is what you do to a verb to make it so the person can speak in the past tense. So for example, we have the verb here, hablar, which is to speak. You want to make it, instead of I talk, you want to say I spoke or I talked in past tense. Well, these are really easy. For the AR verbs, the endings is the letter E, haste, o, hamos, hasteis, and aron. In the classroom, we're going to find out a very cool way to remember that will help us remember these endings. But first, I'm just going to show you some examples of AR verb that are regular. Remember, a regular verb means that only the ending changes while the stem stays the same. Viajar, to travel; pasar, to pass; comprar, to buy; visitar, to visit; caminar, to walk; nadar, to swim; cantar, to sing; preguntar, to ask; terminar, to finish; cocinar, to cook; hablar, to talk; dar, to give; saltar, to jump; and actuar, to act. Here we have some example of how to put these endings into work. For example, if you want to say I spoke with my friend, what you will need to do is put the letter E at the end of the verb hablar, and now you're saying I spoke with my friend, which will be in Spanish hablé con mi amigo. In this second example, I want to say we cooked yesterday. So we take the verb cocinar, we put the ending amos, and now I'm saying cocinamos ayer, which will mean we cooked yesterday. When you put the ending amos to that verb, the pronoun we is already included, it's already built into the verb. Isn't that cool? It's awesome. Now at this point, we're going into the third person. She sang a beautiful song. We'll translate to ella cantó una canción hermosa. In here, I'm going to put the pronoun ella because this is third person, so we want to be specific. So now at this point, I want you to stop the movie and try and conjugate the verb in parentheses. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the verb jugar and you're going to conjugate it into the preterite using the endings that I just talked about. In this one specifically, it says, anoche jugar tenis con mi amiga. Use the two-form conjugation. In this one, ayer nosotros cocinar arroz con pollos. What you need to do is figure out who the subject is. In this case, it's nosotros. So you got to conjugate this verb into the nosotros form. Give it a try, please. Now we're going to talk about ER and IR preterite tense of regular verb for verbs that end in ER, like correr, and for verbs that end in IR, like salir. The cool thing about these endings is that for both ER verbs and IR verbs, you use exactly the same endings. So, letter I with an accent for the yo form. So, corrí will translate to I ran. Corriste will translate to you ran. Corrió he, she, or usted ran, either one. In here, in the plural, we're going to have the corrimos, we ran. Corristes, you all ran. And corrieron, which translate to they ran or also to you all ran. Now take a look at salir. It's the same endings for the IR verb. So salí will mean I left. Saliste, you left. Salió, and I'm over here. He or she or usted left. Salimos, we left. Salisteis, you all left. And salieron will translate to they all left, or it can also translate to you all left. Some examples of ER and IR verbs are verbs such as salir, escribir, aprender, conocer, entender, encender, comer, vender, and añadir. Here, take a look at the examples of how to put these endings into work when you are talking in real sentences. If you want to say, I ran a marathon, you're going to say, corrí un maratón. what you do is you remove the ER from the verb correr and add the letter I. And that way you will make this verb into the preterite. So now the verb is saying, I ran. Here we have, they left for the movies. And the way to say they left for the movies is ellos salieron al cine. And notice again, when you put the ending siguieron, you're making it they left. But because this is the third person, we want to put that pronoun in front of the verb just to be more specific, because remember, in third person it could be either they female, or you all. So that's why you want to do that. Notice in here I put in blue, I highlighted in blue the verbs so you can see how they compare one verb to the other in both languages. It's so nice to see the comparison of both languages, and what a good learning experience to see that. Now, students, what I want you to do is stop the movie and try and conjugate the verbs in parentheses. What you need to do is remember the endings that I show you in the previous slides, and then replace the ER with the correct ending. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to see who the subject is. In this case is nosotros, and remember, nosotros means we. So then once you figure that out, conjugate the verb, and you will have the sentence correct. And after that, please translate to English. Thank you.